year is 2005, and YouTube was started as a dating app, which makes my Hinge job title of YouTuber feel a little meta. But enough about me. You see, the three dudes who launched it were tired of the lame dating platforms of the time like eHarmony and Christian Mingle, so they started an app where you could date using video. Their slogan at the time was tune in, hook up. The problem was, it was a classic case of the sausage party. So they posted a Craigslist ad looking for girls who were looking for guys. If they uploaded a video, they got 20 bucks. And this went exactly as you'd expect. But what happened here laid the foundation for the platform you're watching this video on right now. Along the way, there were a ton of highs and lows, but because of their decisions, they went from paying for uploads to getting 10 hours of footage uploaded a second. This is the history of YouTube. Within just a few weeks of launching, the founders knew they needed to make a big change. So we have this new website, right? And it's a really good idea, but it's just not taking off like we expected it to. What's the idea? Oh, yeah. It's a dating app, but instead of using images, it uses video. Damn, that's a pretty cool idea, man. Yeah, you just gotta post a video of yourself and you'll meet the love of your life. But what about like buffering? I can hardly load a video on my dial-up. Oh, no. We have this new tech that loads the video bit by bit so that you don't have to wait for it to buffer. Damn, that's pretty sick, bro. You're right. I gotta go. Yo, Chad, I was thinking, we gotta drop dating. What if we were just a video website? So within a month, they reworked the entire platform from a motto of tune in, hook up to your digital video repository. Within the next couple of days, the first 3 videos were uploaded to the platform. These videos, without even knowing it at the time, set the tone for what was to come over the next 18 years. Look at me at the zoo first. This video was the earliest form of vlogging on YouTube. Snowboard skills was uploaded next, and it was the first video ever uploaded in the fail trend that became massive just a few years later. And lastly, there's tribute, which showed that the barrier to uploading was low. The idea behind YouTube was that anything you had could get shared. There's no such thing as filtering on YouTube, unlike with TV where only the biggest and best shows are shown. But it wasn't just the videos that made YouTube special. The social features behind YouTube made it easy to find the videos you knew you were gonna love. For starters, you had the featured videos section on the homepage, you could subscribe to channels on YouTube, there was a 5-star rating system, and you could embed videos on other websites, including MySpace. At that time, that silly little MySpace site was the biggest platform in the world, and people were sharing videos from all over YouTube onto there. This period of YouTube's growth relied on viral content. It had to exceed the realm of YouTube for the platform to grow at all. Look at the videos like these Smosh skits and Phil DeFranco videos, and you'll see exactly what was popular at the time. Oh, and these ones too.
Charlie! Chocolate rain!
But alongside all of these original bangers came people who decided to re-upload copyrighted bits like The Lonely Island, for example. YouTube wanted and really needed to be legit to grow, but with all of these copyrighted videos getting uploaded, they were getting sued left, right, and center. Something had to change. It was at this point they decided to start running ads to pay for this. At this point, we've only made it to just around a year into the YouTube platform, and things were going really well outside of that. From paying for uploads, there was now 3 million views coming into the YouTube platform every single month. And so in 2006, Google saw their opportunity and decided to buy the platform.
We just want to say thank you. Today we have some exciting news for you. We've been acquired by Google.
Not long after, a few other creators started popping up that became pretty big later down the line, like the Vlog Brothers, Bo Burnham, and even Ray William Johnson. One of the first things that YouTube was working on under Google was its content ID system to fix the copyright issues they were having. This basically cross-referenced their uploads against a database of copyrighted content to make sure that it didn't break any rules. Because of this, original content was getting rewarded, and in 2007, Fred became the first channel on the YouTube platform to hit 1 million subscribers. The next feature they added built the foundation of the future of YouTube, and I'm not even sure they knew it at the time. This was the partner program. This started out as a way for YouTube to pay the creators who were getting ads run on their content, but this had a few effects, and some were good, some were bad. First, it got a ton of videos posted to the platform and a bunch of new people uploading. But an interesting title was all it took at this time to get people clicking on your video and earning you ad money. So clickbait became a massive trend. And this was the start of a problem that would go on for years years to come. People hated clickbait, but even more than that, they hated that YouTube added pre-roll ads to the videos that couldn't get skipped. But that being said, they were focused on growth, and the next change they made is probably even affecting you right now. If you're watching this on your phone, it's because they developed a mobile platform and worked with Apple to make sure that every iPhone shipped with YouTube already installed. Leading up to the 5-year mark of YouTube, over 700 billion videos were watched in just 2010 alone. The platform was growing at an insane pace, and there was a culture growing around YouTube that made it take on its own unique personality. And over time, even the bad parts of the platform were getting fixed. The rating system was replaced with likes, ads could be skipped after 5 seconds, and even the clickbait problem was starting to get worked on when custom thumbnails got added. All of that was great, and countless other viral videos started to pop up.
Climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up.
I can't see anything. Stop it.
But this was just too good to be true. It was still early days for the YouTube platform, and moving into 2010, the growth era of the YouTube platform was just about to begin.
Thanks for coming, man. We have a big problem. Netflix is growing at a crazy pace, and people are turning back to TV. But why does that matter? We're the future. Just think about it. Internet, video. You're right, but we have to diversify. Hold on. I thought we were doing that already. I think I've got it. If we can get more videos out that keep people sticking around for longer, then clickbait won't be a problem. They're gonna watch the whole video and keep coming back for more. And that is how we make a ton of money. Oh, more videos. Gotcha.
Like that very real clip from a YouTube board meeting back in 2010 showed us, people wanted something new. TV was getting stale, and Netflix was giving a unique option, so in 2010, Netflix started growing at a pace faster than any other platform. And with custom thumbnails on YouTube, the clickbait problem was only getting worse, and people weren't spending time watching videos. The algorithm needed a shift, and fast. Over the next couple of years, the algorithm got shifted from optimizing for clicks to optimizing for watch time. By making sure that people were spending time watching the videos they were actually clicking on, they could solve the problem of clickbait. But on top of that, Netflix had a ton of variety, and YouTube wasn't quite there yet. They were good at viral content, but not content that would keep you sticking around. So the algorithm also promoted consistency. And as a result of all of that, a bunch of new YouTube trends came with this growth phase on YouTube. But directly because of the focus on watch time, the videos got a lot shorter. Look at some of the top videos at the time.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning.
Just watching these, you can see that the videos are really low quality, but it didn't matter. The culture of the platform made trends like this very popular. Netflix had its place as a source of long-form TV-like video, and YouTube wasn't quite ready to compete. But as a quick hit of original content from normal people, the platform had a unique niche. And people got behind it enough that they literally got Gangnam Style up to being the first video on the platform to hit 1 billion views. That was like 1/7 of the population at the time. These trends hit the world stage. I mean, think about it. There was a South Korean pop song that was one of the highest trending songs in America that year. The culture started expanding outside of YouTube's control, which is the exact goal that they had. Just look at events like VidCon that were started in around 2011 by the Vlogbrothers, and that had nothing to do with YouTube. The thing is that as long as YouTube was in control, they couldn't grow at the same pace as other platforms like Netflix. Those platforms used shows that already had a dedicated following to grow their platform and move them over to the streaming services. So allowing the platform to grow freely and do what it needed to do was the only way that YouTube could truly compete. Let the people have what they wanted and deal with the consequences later. Foreshadowing. But the other side of things was that at the time they had to prevent spam, so shorter videos were getting encouraged with a 5-minute time limit. But to compensate for that, those short videos could come more frequently by allowing you to schedule uploads. More videos with a shorter length meant more people would come back to the platform every single day. So daily videos started to pop up. How many daily vloggers were around at the time? How many people were posting gaming videos every single day? But what they did add at the time that caused problems was restrictions on who could get AdSense, which led to something called multi-channel networks, or MCNs. Basically, it would allow you to get monetization faster by going into a group with other creators in exchange for other benefits that most people wouldn't end up using. And the biggest channels at the time were people like Ray William Johnson, iJustine, and even CNanners. But other creators like Rhett and Link, and even the one and only PewDiePie started creating and building platforms really quickly in the early 2010s. Also, remember Coney 2012? That was a weird one. Also, remember Harlem Shake?
Do the Harlem Shake.
Trends were a little weird back then, but hey, free growth, do your thing. And the thing is that even though those were weird trends, it was working. YouTube was growing at a faster pace than ever before. Watch time was also going up and clickbait was going down. Channels were reaching 10 million subscribers, Smosh being the first, and it wasn't a question anymore that YouTube was the internet video platform, but YouTube wanted to be the video platform, not just the internet video platform. How could they expand outside of just short content? They'd tried YouTube movies among other things like live broadcasting, but they were really stuck within their own lane. They had copyright holders and government bodies breathing down their necks, and YouTube was entering a competitive space full of other platforms looking to take them down as soon as possible. Breaking into the territory of traditional TV networks was basically a death sentence. They had to figure out their own unique way to keep people on the platform for longer. So they tried something called premium channels, which allowed the creators that were already popular to get other shows to keep them on the platform posting more frequently. And it worked so well that it was actually outperforming some of the creators' original channels. There was a lesson here. It was time to invest in the creators. You see, YouTube had three things that they needed: more videos, higher session time, and more reach. And all three were growing, but how could they force it into hyperdrive? Well, they knew it was time for a big shift in the culture of YouTube. For years, they'd let it run free and the content was starting to fill in. I mean, in 2014, we had the big shift to vlogging and Casey started posting in 2015. Around that, we had prank channels and gaming taking off like nobody's business in around 2013 and 14. The platform was getting saturated with content and people were sticking around for longer, but the problem was that it was the wrong content for the wrong audience. Let me explain. Have a look back to the era of it's just a prank bro and also it's everyday bro. The videos were reaching a line where advertisers weren't comfortable paying because the shock value kept people around for longer. Sometimes people were pushing things to illegal levels, and that shock value is great for views, but the advertisers were not big fans of it. So YouTube added a few other metrics to its algorithm: user satisfaction surveys, the not interested button, and prioritizing sharing within the algorithm. With that, they could make sure that watch time was still the biggest priority, but people weren't going to go and do crazy things to try and bring in a few extra views. Netflix was picking up shows left, right, and center, and people were coming back over and over and over again, but there was creators who were doing unpredictable things and getting canceled all the time, meaning that there was channels that were building these massive platforms and then no one wanted to watch them anymore. People were making content that wasn't friendly to everyone, which was the wrong creators, and the audience was wrong because even if they liked those videos, the advertisers weren't going to pay to advertise to those people. YouTube needed to clean up their act. By cleaning up their act, their goal was that people would stick around for longer because it was going to be a more reliable place to get content. And they were right.
Yo, this is crazy, dude. Pulse, bro. No, this isn't f***ing real, bro. Yo, you gotta call police. Call the police, bro.
Yeah. Logan Paul was the catalyst. After he filmed a dead body in a forest in Japan, there was a moment where YouTubers hit the mainstream in the worst light possible.
Outrage is growing overnight about a video Logan Paul posted overnight.
Add to that the European Union was pushing against content supposedly made for kids, claiming that the line was getting very unclear and was harmful to young people. They had to implement a bunch of rules all at once, from child-friendly content rules to even the adpocalypse. Things weren't really looking good for YouTube. In fact, they actually became public enemy one for creators at the time. Corporatization, basically making sure that they had the ability to scale while everyone else focused on the content. It was something that needed to be done. They had the best interests of the creators in mind, whether they knew it at the time or not. Because if the advertisers were happy, they would continue to pay more and more and more, making that partnership between them and the creators even more money. But other changes like removing the customization on channels made it so that it was an easy website to navigate and everything was uniform. And the last thing that YouTube added to help hit the mainstream was a brand new AI-powered algorithm. Watch time was still important, but so was click-through rate and so much more about your viewer experience. They'd been spending the last 10 years trying to populate the platform with a bunch of content, but there was now so many videos that people weren't easily able to access the content they liked other than by subscribing. So this new AI algorithm basically bucketed people into the categories of videos they enjoyed. Let's say you have three people. Person A likes gaming, persons B and C like vlogs. Both A and C C watch a video from their interests, and when person B opens YouTube, they need 8 videos to fill their homepage. So let's say the videos from A and C are both on there. Because of the historical viewing patterns, C's video is going to pop up at the top of B's recommended. But if B clicks on A, it probably means that this gaming video that A watched has some appeal to a wider audience. So they'll push that video even more because people are watching it even though it's not in their niche. It's breaking the viewing pattern. But as a safety, they're also going to put C's video so that if you don't like A's recommendation, you'll just watch the video they know you're going to like. By just checking past viewing patterns, they can see channels you've watched and compare it to other people on the platform. So let's say I watch Ryan Trahan, Eric, and Dream. They know I like Minecraft videos, but I also like vlogs. They'll compare that with another viewer, and if another viewer also watches Mr. Beast, they'll recommend Mr. Beast to me. They're basically comparing other people's viewing patterns like DNA to see what else fits in. And the algorithm is learning with every single click. So it's very complicated and it's changing all the time, but that's sort of how the algorithm works, even to this day. The main takeaway here is that, yeah, they made a bunch of changes that sort of broke the culture of YouTube, but it was a sacrifice they knew they needed to make to invest in the future of the platform. Even creators like Mr. Beast started creating higher quality content and getting rewarded for it. This standardized, kid-friendly content all felt the same for a few years, but people started to see the directions they could expand outside of. And more importantly, the business of YouTube became more legitimized to advertisers and other businesses, allowing even the people who didn't follow the rules to build creator economy businesses off the platform. Just look at the Nelk Boys. They built a super successful brand because of the legitimacy of the YouTube platform, and they probably made $0 in AdSense in the last 5 years. This was all cemented when YouTube canceled their rewind because they became so disconnected with the culture. They knew they had to focus on the growth and the future of the platform, but that disconnected them from the present, making it feel really out of touch when they put out these rewind videos. YouTube, being the corporate overlords that they became, made them look bad in the beginning. But if we look back at the last 5 years, you can see how that corporatization has really changed things. All right, well, I think we all know where YouTube's at now. The platform is very saturated and there's no denying it. Over 30,000 channels have 1 million subscribers. I'm not one of them, obviously. And 10 hours of videos uploaded to the platform every single second. The modern day YouTube world is basically like a highly competitive business, and every single video posted is like launching a new small business. But YouTube's been able to outgrow Netflix, and there's more people watching YouTube on their TVs than any other streaming service or channel, and that includes the Succession finale. But within this mainstream era of YouTube, a lot of shifts have happened too. During the pandemic, short-form vertical content took over as the new wave of video, and not capitalizing on that would mean losing a ton of potential users. So YouTube added in its shorts platform. And if you look back at the early days of YouTube, they wanted to be a massive company. But now there's massive companies being built in the framework of the YouTube platform. I mean, just look at Mr. Beast. He's literally spent hundreds of millions of dollars to create for their platform as a part of his business. He is a poster boy of the corporatization of YouTube that happened a few years back, and he had the most success because he fit into the guidelines the easiest, the best, and just kept doubling down. But is this the end, or is there more in the future of YouTube? Looking back at the past, YouTube has always won by having a plan of what's coming next, and this present moment is no different. There's two massive problems on YouTube right now. Number one, the content is getting really stale, and number two, the vast majority of viewers are watching on their phones. YouTube wants to be the first click when you turn on your TV, not Netflix, YouTube. Looking at the features they've added, you can see how they're targeting this. Your phone is for short form content, your TV is for long form content, and they want to keep it that way to get you super interested. I don't know about you, but when I'm watching something on TV and I see a short form piece of content that interests me, I'm gonna watch it and not pause what's on the TV. That multitasking is what YouTube wants to capitalize on. How can they literally double their watch time other than by having you watching on 2 devices at once? And I know that sounds ridiculous, but look at the Subway Surfers trend on TikTok. People can handle watching 2 things at once. On top of that, YouTube is seemingly building out a podcast-focused part of their platform that will help further the push for video podcasts and compete with platforms like Spotify with the massive deals getting handed out like candy. It also gives creators already on the platform platform another vertical to target. The future of YouTube is the separation of the mediums and doubling down on different forms of content. Because they have so much going on their platform, they want to segment the user base to make sure that they have the best content for the best users. Oh, and in terms of culture, I think there's a move towards authenticity happening again. We're looping back to the beginning when the videos were super raw and uncut, except it's more of a fabricated authenticity. We're sharing things, but intentionally to feel authentic. Just look at Ryan Tran. He has the authenticity, he has the character, but he's still got the know-how of how to hit the algorithm. And personally, I'd say if this is the direction that YouTube is going, I trust it. I think it's gonna work out. Historically, in the past, they've made decisions that are controversial to build the foundation of the future of the platform, and trusting in them seems to be the best way to go. With YouTube, your channel exists on rented land, but if the landlord is telling you how to build the house on that rented land, then maybe you should just listen. If you're interested in online culture and the creator economy, be sure to subscribe because I have a ton more videos like this coming very soon. And also check out this video I made about the live streaming industry and how it all works. If you like this video, you're probably gonna like that one too. All right, I'll see you guys very soon.